Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So today I will be going over installing pfSense and its initial configuration, and in the next video I will be going deeper into more configuration on pfSense. Let's get started. So let's take a look at the network diagram real quick. So we do have Kali Linux installed, we have Windows installed, and Linux on the target network. And today we will be taking a look at pfSense, and what that means is we will be configuring its interface. So it's going to have 3 interfaces on all sides of the network, 4 interfaces actually, and we will be configuring it to manage traffic on all those interfaces. Okay, so to download pfSense, you do need to head to the website, and I will be leaving a link in the description below. So you want to head to architecture, select AMD 64, and for the installer you do the DVD image. So once you download that, I do have it downloaded already, so I'll just go straight to VirtualBox. So once you're in VirtualBox, you want to click on New on the top, and I'll do pfSense. So I want to select the image where I downloaded it, and for the operating system type is going to be Linux, and the version is going to be Debian 64-bit. Next, so I will be giving this 1 GB of memory and 2 CPU cores for installation. So for the virtual hard disk, I will be giving 10 GB. So the minimum requirement is 8 GB, but I think 10 GB is a good amount to start with, so I'll do finish. And I'll boot up pfSense, and once I boot up pfSense, so for the network I want to add the interfaces. So for the first adapter, NAT is good, so we can connect to the internet, and for the second one I will be enabling that on the internal network and selecting security management VLAN. So you wouldn't have all these options, and you have to create them for yourself. So the next one I'll do target VLAN, and for the last one, attack VLAN. Pretty well explanatory, I would say. Be powering up pfSense right now, so I can go ahead with the installation. I'm speeding it up, by the way. Okay, so accept that, install pfSense, so auto UFS, entire disk, DOS partition, okay, yes, and finish. So commit, and once I do commit, and it's gonna start installing. And pfSense, it's a much lighter installation compared to the other ones in this lab, so you should be pretty much happy with this one. So wait for it, I sped it up, but once we're done we'll reboot and we'll wait again, more waiting. Okay, my bad, looks like I do have to change the boot order because it's done installing, I'm sure about that. But I'll bring up the hard disk by going to settings and bringing up the hard disk, even turning off optical so it doesn't boot from the image. So I'll boot it up again. Wait for that. Okay, so once we do have pfSense up and running, what we're trying to do is to configure our interfaces and configure the IP addresses on those interfaces. Also, we'll be configuring DHCP, so pfSense would be giving out IP addresses on those different VLANs. Okay, so we want to go with option 1, assign interfaces. Assign interfaces. Should VLANs be set up now? I'll just do yes. Well, and skip. I don't need that actually. I just skip. Okay. So enter the WAN interface. So that's just gonna be EM0 right off the bat. So EM0. Then the next one, the LAN EM1, and the next one EM2. And the last one EM3. Okay, so proceed, yes, for sure. So now we do want to set the interfaces by using option 2. So by configuring 1 first, the WAN, and we do want to get its IP address from the DHCP server. So no, we skip the other ones because we're not using IPv6. So 2, we go again for the LAN and select LAN. So we don't want it to get its IP address through DHCP this time. So we say no to that. And for the IP address, it's going to be a model configuration. So 192.168.20.1. And just take a look at the network diagram once again to show you that that's on the security management VLAN. So yeah, that makes sense. So, okay. Enter. And it's going to be a /24. So 24. Okay, we just do enter and say no to DHCP6 because we're not using that. Enable DHCP server on LAN, yes. So I will be doing 192.168.20.2 to 192.168.20.254. Say no, it's the same question, but yeah. So we're done with 2 interfaces and we got 2 more to go. All right, so again, option 2. So 3 this time, then note DHCP IP configuration. So 192.168.10.1 because that's on the target network, and it's also a /24. So all networks are /24 networks. DHCP6, nope. IPv6, nope. Yes, we do want DHCP server. So I'll be going from 192.168.10.2 all the way to 192.168.10.254. So I do nope, and we're done with that one also, and got one more. Okay, so option 2, enter the number 4, no, and 192.168.30.1 for the, just do enter for that, and DHCP6, nope. Again, we're keeping it simple in this lab, so we're not working with DHCP. We're not working with IPv6 or DHCP6. DHCP server and up to, yes. And from here, I will be going 192.168.30.2 all the way to 192.168.30.254. She might have guessed. Say no, and Yeah, so at this point we are done with all the configuration we need to do on pfSense directly. So next we'll be reaching pfSense from the web interface, from the web configurator, and for that I will be using Ubuntu. So this is another Ubuntu machine, and I did create this from cloning my Ubuntu machine on the target network just after my initial installation, but this is sitting on my security management VLAN. So it's not on the target network, it's sitting on my security management VLAN. So I will be using it for all sorts of security management tasks and procedures. Okay. So I'll be logging into my Ubuntu, my analyst machine. So I'm trying to reach pfSense through the web, which means I do need my web browser. So I'll be heading to 192.168.20.1 and we'll click advanced. So it shows this up because it's a self-signed signature. So just advance and accept the risk. Boom, we got pfSense. So to sign in, we're gonna need the default credentials, which is admin for the username and pfSense for the password. So let's try that. Don't save. We'll just try that again. So pfSense and all right, we're in. So we have successfully installed pfSense. So next, scroll down, next. So we do want to put in our DNS servers. So 8.8.8.8 and 4.4.4.4. Just to make sure the domain names we're trying to resolve gets through properly. And for this, I'll be changing the time zone to my time zone, and you do want to change this to your time zone if you're at this step. So next, US Central, next. And this is configuration for the WAN interface, and we're going to be leaving a lot on default, but we want to unblock these two settings right at the bottom. And just go next. So this is good, it looks good here, so I'll just do next. Okay, so now we do have to change the default password to something more secure, so I'll do that right now. Always change your default credentials, always. So reload. So we're gonna have to wait for a second. And boom, finish. Okay, so we do wanna read through this and accept. Make sure we're all good with complying with the rules. And if you're interested in doing the survey, you can do that. Otherwise, you can close it. Okay, so two things we're going to be doing, which are configuring the interfaces, the interface names. So to do that, you need to head to interface assignments and just click on the interface you're trying to configure. So here I'm trying to change the names so I can easily recognize them anywhere else in the lab. So security management VLAN, and that's all I will be doing. So just the name and save, apply changes, and I'll just do the rest for the other interfaces accordingly. So yeah, I'll just go back. And for opt 1 and opt 2, just do the rest. Just change the names and apply changes. That's all. Okay, so one last thing we will be doing in this video is setting up one firewall rule. So you do need to head to firewall rules, click on add. So here our action is pass. So we do protocol any and just save that. So this is on the WAN interface, and what this does is it allows any kind of protocol traffic from any source on any port to any destination on any port through the default gateway, because we only have one gateway currently set up. And so this applies to traffic that tries to go through the WAN interface. And that's all I do have in today's video. So in the next one, I will be diving deeper on firewall configurations and my rules, showing you exactly what I do have set up in order to manage my traffic and allow certain networks to access the internet. All right, see you in the next one. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.